Hello again. I'm making a video today all about how to incorporate glitter into your makeup look while you're still going to work in a professional office or business setting. My good friend Ashley suggested this idea to me because she works for a pet clinic. She loves glitter so much but doesn't want to make it overpower her professionalism and the way that she, interacts with her pet customers. So if you've been thinking the same kind of questions about what are some ways to do that, then let's jump into it. Okay, my love, jump down, jump down. Okay, so clearly I don't have on any eye makeup yet. I just have on my base and brows. For the first look, I wanted to do something that's just a very simple liner on the lash line and then a glittery line just right on top of it. I feel like every time I've done that in the past, it's more of like a peak of glitter and not like a full glam dramatic look. So let's kind of jump into that. So right now I do have eye primer on. I'm gonna try to zoom in a little closer so maybe that helps. Okay, so I'm just taking a liquid liner. I'm taking a brown because my black one is completely out. This one has a very precise tip, which is what I want for this look. I just want something to define the eye shape, do a little wing at the end, follow it closely with some glitter right on top. So I'm gonna do the line first. Now wing is optional. I find that if your eyes get a little teary at the corner, or if maybe you just worry about like smudge or transfer, you can just keep it across the lid. I'm going to do a very small wing at the tip. This one's about to run out too, so I'm just milking it for all the ink it has. Okay, so that's good for me. I just had a lot of coffee, so my hand's a little bit on edge. Otherwise, I feel like I'd be a little bit more precise. Next, glitter choice. I find that with this particular look, you can get away with pretty much any glitter. I find something with like a very similar, well, I guess any glitter can work for this. It doesn't really matter. I've actually run out of a lot of my glitters, hard to believe. They've kind of expired or they've gotten dry. So for this particular look, I'm just taking a liquid, like metallic eyeshadow that has glitter specks, and we're just going to make the most out of it. This one is from PeriPera. Got it off of Yes Style, and this is number 12. It's kind of like a pale pink with like a little bit of a gold quality to it. I'm just taking some and putting it on my hand so I can use it as a little palette. In one of my last videos, I talked about how I picked up this Sephora liner brush. It has that really precise angle applicator to it, and I think something like this will work great with what I'm trying to do. Another brush that I think would work would be like a very... Okay, I've returned. I had a little fussy baby ready for breakfast, so I'm back. So what I was saying, brushes that'll work, angled, fine tip, painterly, like just like long thin bristles. Foundations. I've tried it with this really tiny squarish brush. It's not as effective, and I've tried it with a brush like this that's a little bit more flat and pointed. Not my favorite either, so I'm going to use the angled one today. Okay, so the trick to this is to try not to get it right on the liner. instead try getting it just right above and keep it thin. If it gets thick, it's not a big deal. I just find it looks a little bit more like expertly executed when it is really precise. I used to have a lot of the Urban Decay, what were they called? Like liquid glitters, and they came with this really precise bristle in the applicator, which was great for applying this technique. But a lot of those really burned my eyes, and I'd kind of put up with it just because I loved it so much. And then after I had them for so long, I was like, I'm just gonna toss these out, and then I never repurchased. Okay, so here's what we got. Now, I usually like to let that dry, go on to the other eye and then come back and then layer up a little bit more, just so that it's a little bit more opaque. That's just because my glitters aren't as dazzling as some others are, but you can keep it really sheer if you prefer. Now, if you did get a little bit of the glitter on the liner, that's okay, you can leave it. Because I like the precise, like contrast, I sometimes will go back in with that liner and then just sort of pat over where I got the glitter. Okay, while this dry sets, let's move on to the other one. So for this side, I wanted to show something that's a little bit more fast, because sometimes, I know for me personally, going to work, I would have really early shifts, and you just want to put something on to look like you're awake and to make other people think that, you know, you've got it together, but you don't want to have to wake up earlier to spend time doing it. So for this, I'm going to use the same glitter that I was using on this side. I'm not going to use any liner over here. What I'm doing is I'm taking a little bit more onto the back of my hand, and I find this side is going to look best with glitters that have a translucent back, or like base. For instance, if your glitter has like a dark brown or a dark black base, this side isn't going to have the same effect. This one has a little bit of like a goldish base, which I find is fine as well. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm taking my finger, dipping it in, and I'm just sort of spreading out to really just pick up the little shimmers. And I'm just gonna put this on the lid, and I'm actually gonna bring it up almost to my brow bone. Essentially what I want is there to just be like a super fine dusting of shimmer that looks like it's not there until you're really looking closely. I find that this is a really great way that when you're talking to someone, they're looking at your eyes above your mask and they just sort of see like just a peak of glitter without feeling like the glitter is gonna get onto them because there's so much. I'm using a liquid glitter because I find that it sticks better and it won't fall out throughout the day, but you can use any glitter that you like. Elf glitters are really beautiful, Stila glitters. This PeriPera one I think is lovely. I think if you have one that you really love, I want to hear all about it, so please comment to me what's your favorite glitter, because I would love to pick up some new ones. I think that with this technique, if you apply it straight from the applicator, that's where you get a really intense payoff, and I love that look, but it's just a little bit too dramatic for a daytime business setting, whereas this just looks a little bit more whimsical, kind of fairy-like. And even if I didn't work in a business, I think this is really beautiful for like a lunching outing or like meeting with friends or something, because it's just, you know, it's really pretty. Cool. Okay, so now let's go back to the other side and just build up that line a little more. Again, you don't have to build up the intensity. I just feel like it makes it a little more special. Another thing I find that helps convey professionalism with glitter is to not do too many different things, meaning I recommend this without any other eyeshadow, without too much eyeliner, without, you know, really dramatic contour and lipstick and that kind of stuff. I find that if it's just this as the main focus, it just adds attention to it without looking overwhelming. You could spice up this look by adding like a transitional blend before doing this, but I think doing this by itself is what makes it look more approachable. So since I only have two eyes, I actually had a third idea in mind, so I'm just going to demonstrate it on this eye. And that technique, I would say, is just doing a pop of glitter in the inner corner. I know that's really become popular this last year, even a couple years, but I think that still kind of incorporates like a splash of sparkle without, you know, having to be really detail oriented. You don't have to make it, you know, too perfect. You can just sort of pop it in. You could blend it out, add some mascara, and then that's kind of a look in its own. I find that that pop of glitter in the inner corner can be done with any glitter, but one with a very light base is going to be really complimentary for like all eye colors, because it's not going to like change your eye shape. So for this, I'm going to take the applicator and just put it right in that corner. And then I'm going to take a little rounded brush and then just tap. And then if I want it to be a little bit more intense, just build up a little more. If you wanted to add a little bit more flare, you could just take it on that bottom lash line and top lash line just right at the front. Cool. Okay, so just imagine that inner corner by itself without this top layer, and I think you can kind of get the idea. it brings attention to there, and it just sort of opens the eye. And it just looks like, you know, a little flirty, a little fun. You can do it really fast without much time. Put on some mascara, and bam, you've got a glitter look. Okay, so I'm going to put on some mascara now just to see what this entire look would look like that. Okay, I'm going to be using the Bite Upswing mascara. This is my third time using it. I got it as a free gift with purchase, so I'm still sort of testing it out to see how I like it. I'm not going to put any on the lower lash line, just because I want the tension to be on the tops. Now, bonus step, if you should have a little more time, and you want to, I'd say maybe tight line this upper lash line, just so that it looks a little bit more solidified. Okay, I think that is everything. I'm just going to put on a little bit of blush bronzer highlight to kind of finish off the face, and then I'll be right back. Voila, we have our finished look. I just added a little blush, bronzer, highlight, some pink lip gloss. Okay, here's a little bit of a look of how it looks in the sun. Hopefully that shows the little, hopefully this kind of shows the glittery effect a little better. Anyways, I hope this kind of gave you some inspiration to do some glittery looks for your work life. If you have another glittery look that you really love, I'd love to hear what you do. Thanks again, Ash, for the recommendation for video idea. I hope this helps you. Well, thanks again for joining me and spending time with me. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!